Watch what you bet tonight, Teddy, in the NBA. I got a little bit of a bone to pick with my Sixers because it's not so easy, Teddy. Just flip that switch back on and say, yup, we're ready for the playoffs. Last night, another effort to be questioned by my Philadelphia 76ers. Let's not talk about, say, it's a one-night thing. 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, Teddy, they lost to Atlanta. They went on the road. They lost to the Mavericks. They lost to Atlanta again last night. Line opens up at a New Jersey Sportsbook at DraftKings today at 2.5, the Sixers getting points. Sort of raised my eyebrow a little bit. And then I see the updated lines from multiple books. Sixers +5 at home tonight. What's going on with the Sixers, Teddy?
We don't know who's going to play is what's going on. The markets are concerned Jimmy Butler's not going to play tonight. They're concerned that Joel Embiid is not going to play tonight. And for Milwaukee, while they still have a number of key guys out, Brogdon, Gasol, et cetera, DiVincenzo, Mirotic, who's I thought would be an impact player for them after they picked him up at the trade deadline. They still got a bunch of guys out, but Chris Middleton's supposed to play tonight, and Giannis is supposed to play tonight. He declared himself 100% after going for 28 and 11 in the win over the Nets earlier in the week. Obviously an MVP candidate, and a team in Milwaukee that still needs one more win to clinch the number 1 seed in the East. So from all indications, the Bucks are coming to play tonight. The markets are not convinced that the Sixers are coming to play tonight. Jimmy Butler, he played yesterday. He missed a couple of games with back tightness, but will he play tonight? We don't know. Embiid, very questionable. 4 starters played 34 minutes plus in Atlanta last night. And as you mentioned, it wasn't an intense effort for the 76ers. They certainly have a better game in them. They covered their only previous try as a home dog this season, albeit a little bit of a lucky cover in that one. But I can understand why the Bucks are road chalk here. Milwaukee's a class between these two teams right now, and the Bucks, from all indications, are coming to play against a Sixers squad that didn't show last night and is on the second of back-to-backs.
Yeah, it should be. I'm going to be interested to watch this game to see how they come out, because the one thing that you look at with NBA teams, Teddy, it's one thing that if you go on the road, you lose to bad teams, but it's another one just going out on the road and playing matador defense, giving up 120, 125, 130 against inferior opponents. We'll see if they can rebound tonight, but you're right with the load management for Joel Embiid. He's expected to be back, but not sure if he's coming back. But I also heard, pundits last night, Sixers are locked into the 3 seed. And you look, there's 4 games left. They have a 2-game lead above the Celtics and also the Indiana Pacers. But if you mess around, Teddy, you might get knocked out of those. So we'll see what happens there with the Philadelphia 76ers tonight versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Heading over out west, Eddie, your neck of the woods. Warriors looking to lock down the number 1 seed out west. Warriors and Lakers at the beginning of the season. NBA odds makers, NBA TV matchups, executives. Oh, man, can you imagine this game, Teddy, coming down the wire? These two teams might even be fighting for the top 2 spots. Not the case. No LeBron. Plus 13, Teddy. The Lakers are pulling down tonight as a dog.
Sure. And, Golden State off back-to-back wins and covers. Last time Golden State had 3 consecutive wins and covers came well before the All-Star break. So it's not like the Warriors have been able to put their foot down on opponents throughout the second half of the season. It hasn't happened. And, of course, the markets have already devalued the Lakers, and understandably so. Without LeBron, it's been a disappointing season. It's been a campaign that has had an enormous number of distractions, and the coaching distraction. There's still, like, Juwan Howard's name is the one I heard today, who's going to replace Luke Walton. But it certainly appears like Luke Walton is coaching his last few games with L.A. There were no shows in Oklahoma City the other night, and certainly the market's not expecting them to bring their A game against Golden State tonight. But again, if you're looking for the Warriors, hey, is that flip switch? Flip the switch, all of that? We haven't seen any point over the second half of the campaign that Golden State has strung together 3 good games in a row, 3 wins and covers in a row. They do it tonight. It'll be the first time, which they might be able to do. But, difficult for me to get involved in this one. I don't trust either team to take care of business.
No, and instead of playing on the court tonight and resting up, Teddy, LeBron's got to be over probably, on the Warner Brothers lot for Space Jam 2 coming up. So he's got a busy summer of non-basketball ahead of him. And if you're from an L.A. perspective or a fan of that, you say, you know what? After the season didn't go over so well, get back on the court and try to help us out next year. Teddy, Cubs, look to salvage a game in Atlanta. We talked about it yesterday. Whoo, take a deep breath, Cubs. 6 errors. You take the day off. You come back looking like they were heading to a victory and snatched away late in the game. Atlanta wins another game. Cubs floundering as John Lester can't even rescue them yesterday, Teddy.
Yeah, Sijic comes in the 8th, and he walks the bases loaded, and then Rosario gives the 3-run double, and bye-bye, Chicago. So much for your bounce-back effort. After the debacle on Monday. And this is an Atlanta team that had a rough series in Philly. to open. You like the quote from Brian Snitker, quote, "These guys never quit. It's what they're all about. They're never out of a game. They showed patience, had some really good at-bats, and put together a big inning to win the ball game." Darvish, it's hard for me to trust Yu Darvish right now. I'll be flat out. He was, how much are they paying him? They're paying him a whole lot of money. He wasn't good last year, obviously. Yeah. 9 starts, spent the whole year hurt, had an ERA over 5. And in his first start this year, Darvish couldn't get out of the 3rd inning. Struggling with his command. What do you have? 7 walks in 2 2/3. His only previous start against the Braves, he gave up 6 runs. Hard for me to trust Yu Darvish in a game where the Cubs are priced like this. And they're not big dogs. Darvish got to be a dog right now. He is no ace, and the Cubs certainly not playing very good baseball.
No, when you take a look at this as well, Ted, I mean, you got Yu Darvish on the mound, Cubs need a win, and then you look at Max Fried on the mound, and you're saying, like, what's given here with a line of only 117 or 119 across the board, and Atlanta being a favorite. So hopefully Cubs fans hope Fried gets fried today. But if we take a look at our off-the-mic segment, go ahead, Teddy. What do you got?
Well, I wanted to ask you, what do you think? Do you think that line should have been higher for Atlanta, or do you think the Cubs should have been favored?
No, I actually agree with the line, the way it sits now, because if you're looking at a guy coming off banged up, this isn't Yu Darvish, as you said, that we're getting from those Texas Rangers days that's dominant out there, but just to the naked eye of somebody gambling, in the public saying, hey, I want to take a look. Hey, the Cubs are a pretty good team. Getting with Yu Darvish, I agree with the line where it is today, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought that this line would be a little bit higher than it is. So I'm always interested in having a discussion when I think a line should be higher and someone else comes out and says, oh, no, I really thought it would be more like pick'em. And they say, all right, maybe I didn't see something. There are other opinions, but this one, I thought the Braves should be at least 140.
No, yeah, especially where the Cubs are playing. Like, what rescues you right now, Teddy, from the Cubs? They're going to play good defense, been shaky. They're getting good starting pitching, been a little bit shaky there. So we'll see what takes place here in this game. Interesting because I'm rooting for the Cubs, obviously being a Philadelphia Phillies fan, and those Atlanta Braves did notch another loss.